What a week I have had. I tell you what, it has been such an interesting week. That was last weekend, right? Yes, last weekend when I was in DC to this weekend and the in-betweens. Oh my goodness. Hello, beautiful. Welcome back to another episode of Beautiful I Am Colored. My name is Evelyn, and I am the creator of this podcast, as well as the author of the book titled Beautiful I Am Colored. I'm so thankful and honored that you stopped by again this week to hear my insights and perspectives that I've gained from my week. And before I begin and cascade into today's topic, which is a moment of transparency, I always ground us with a moment of gratitude in a segment I've called shout outs and thank yous. And that's just a moment where I shout out a person, place, thing, or idea for which I'm grateful, because I've firmly, deeply believe that gratitude is a must each and every day, even for the smallest of things. And so this week goes no different. I will start probably in reverse order of shout outs and thank yous, meaning chronological reverse order. So the first shout out and thank you goes to Albus and Rachel. So if you come across this podcast, Albus and Rachel, this is just a sincere congratulations on your engagement. The party was amazing last night. We had a great time, clearly. Albus had to kick us out in a loving way, but that just goes to show you it was really good vibes. The conversation was good. It's so good to see so many familiar faces and to celebrate two amazing people. So first shout out goes to them. The next shout out goes to a healthy immune system. I know, you're like, that's random, girl. Like, how you go from engagement party to healthy immune? Well, I'm about to tell you. Because remember, I started this thing off saying that I had a very interesting week that transpired from last weekend in DC to this weekend being back home in Denver. So I got back home, celebrated my 46th birthday, and the way that I wanted to, which was this year to do absolutely nothing, not even cake, cookie, pie, none of that. I just was not in the space this year. And to be honest with you, like, I don't know about you, or how old some of you are. I think the majority, based on the analytics, the majority of my listening audience is definitely over the age of 35. And so I'm 46 now, and I'm not sure if it's just because something else clicks clockwise, like internal clockwise. And no, I'm not talking about nobody's babies, but something else clicks that, it's just different. I don't even know how to describe it. You start to set well into yourself and who you are, which I kind of been like that my whole life, according to my mom, like just knowing who I am and what I'm going to take versus what I'm not going to take. But I mean, just at a deeper level, it just, I don't know, just super reflective. And so going back to the whole thankful for a healthy immune system. So I got back, like I said, celebrated the birthday. Excuse me. And then, y'all, I got sick. And when I say I got sick, I was like 2 or 3 days just sick. I mean, bad sick. I'll spare you the details. But the bottom line is, thank God for knowing what to do, right? Like, because I'm not a huge medicine taker. Now, I will, don't get me wrong, but I'm not a huge medicine taker. Like, I don't live and die by it. So I knew what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got enough energy, get up, you can sweat it out. So I did a couple of YouTube videos, make sure I, sweat it. Your electrolytes, drink plenty of liquids, your soups and all that. And I was able to bounce back relatively quickly, all things considered, enough and well enough to participate in the engagement party fully, like last night. And I'm just so thankful because, it's one of those things where health is wealth. I think I talked about this in a podcast episode before. And it's so important for us to, take good care of ourselves. That includes physical activity and, eating the foods that will nourish, your cells and stuff so that, when you do succumb to different things that you're able to fight it back. And I just say that I'm thankful because I know that not everyone has a strong, healthy immune system. And so if you have one and you're able to fight off common colds, coughs naturally, and you bounce back and you get back into your routine, that's something to be incredibly thankful for, especially as we continue to see so many face horrible circumstances in this world. Anyway, that completes my shout outs and thank yous for this week. And I want to cascade and just be very transparent with you today. I kind of struggled with what to talk to you about because, as you know, like I told you, this is kind of sort of my form of purpose-driven work, if you will. And so I don't take it lightly, what I say to you each week. And I was really struggling, one, because did we get in at 1 a.m.? Yeah, I think it was around 1. We got home this morning, and so I was a little bit tired, but I was like, man, what am I going to talk about today? And, usually I get a download, without fail. And I really hadn't received a download, and I was just my morning didn't get started like how I wanted it to get started. And that kind of just, frustrated me. And then that, dovetailed into thinking about all the things that are not. And so I just had what some would consider to be a spirally moment to where I just wasn't feeling it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of and then we had snow. Oh my God, y'all, the snow. It just seemed like it came out of nowhere. I mean, I knew it was coming because my son had warned me, but I only thought we was going to get a dusting, and we ended up getting that super heavy, wet snow that's real nasty and slushy. And the bottom line is this. I thrive on sunlight. And so the weather and stuff was impacting me. And so I just wasn't feeling it. And so I was like, you know what? It's very important, especially when you're doing this type of work, to where you're giving out so much and you're encouraging others and trying to be a beacon of light, if you will, to the best of your ability each week, that it's very important to me also that I'm transparent with you in the moments that I get down too. I'm not happy-go-lucky all the time. Sure, my branding, is beautiful lime colored, and I post, positive things on my page and things like that. And the truth of the matter is that the beautiful part of it is not just an aesthetic, right? That's not why the book was titled that, and that's not why the name of this podcast is that. Recall 2 years ago when I started this podcast that I explained beautiful was the sum total of everything that we go through that makes us human beings. Oof, I'm getting teared up thinking about it. So I was like, well, I need to come on here today and just be transparent and have a vulnerable moment and just share with you that, people who are built to give back, they have to get fueled up too. And so today was one of those days where, I have to invest in Evelyn and I have to fuel myself up and do what I need to do and what it takes for me to feel fulfilled so that I'm able to continue to pour out and give each week. And so I just wanted to say this week, and I know it's a short one, but I just wanted to say this week that, if you're like me and you have been built, that you're built for service. And a lot of people aren't, I realize that, but I know that I'm built for service. But I've also, let me personalize it. I've also found myself in this, especially since I started working where I work. There's this almost boxed in effect that I go through because I have a lot of restrictions at my place of work. So I'm not able to do a lot of the things from a giving back standpoint that I used to do, at least not without filing paperwork, literally with the legal team for approval. And so that has created a lot of frustration for me. And so it's just time for me to make some different decisions and, take the leap. And, it's time for the next thing. It basically is what I'm saying from a career standpoint. And so I was just wrestling with that, and a few other things. And like I said, just having a moment with you this week, today, of just full transparency. And like I always tell you, because I have to abide by what I tell you and I have to apply that to myself, when I say the future you is waiting on you, that of course applies to me as well. And so all of the things and tips and stuff that I share with you, I'm having to literally apply them right now to myself. And I say that so that you know that it is not easy. I know that the work that I'm called to do and the things that I share with you, it is absolutely not easy to do, but you indeed can do it. I know that I can do it. And so I just want to encourage you this week. If you've had a moment like me where, the weather kind of got you down a little bit, or somebody in your family ticked you off, or a friend, or whatever the case may be, and you might be feeling a little bit down, I just want you to know that it's okay. It's okay to feel down. And what's also okay is that after you get finished feeling down, then you need to do what it takes for you to refuel yourself. And sometimes that can be another person, and that's great if you have it, but you know me, I always say the power is within you. And so you need to know that first for you and do what it takes for you. And so a short one this week, but I hope that helps someone out there. I appreciate the listeners so much. You, the listeners, so much. I don't care when you come across this podcast. I just appreciate you so much because you don't have to spend time with me listening to my voice. But I certainly appreciate you. And, if you like the podcast and what I present every week, feel free to share it with someone, or, share the link or whatever. Anyhow, I hope you all have a great week. As always, remember, the future you is waiting on you. Please take care of yourselves. As my aunt always reminds our family, make sure that you're staying hydrated, you're exercising, eating the right foods, so that you can stay healthy during these winter months. I will talk to you again next week.